I'm going to do 3 versions of a walk cycle. This is part 1, so this will be the first video, then I'll have 2 others. The first video, I'm going to use body parts that are graphic symbols to assemble in separate frames for a walk cycle. The second one, I will use symbols with bones, and then the third one, I will use shape with bones. So this is the first one, and I have started out by putting together, I drew different parts. First, I started out by drawing, and I want to show you what I started out with. So I started out with drawing just sketches of what I want for a walk cycle. A walk cycle starts with one leg forward and ends with that same leg forward. So you have, and here I have the right leg forward, the right leg would go back, the right leg would go forward. That would be one walk cycle. So from here to here is one walk cycle with the right leg forward, the right leg forward. And these are the steps in between. So as that leg comes forward, I'm switching the arms. So when the right leg is forward, the left arm, the back arm, is forward. The left leg is back, the right arm is back. You'll also shift just a little bit with the head. So the head changes, it goes a little bit like a little bit of a curve, almost like a wave coming up and down, just up and down just a little bit as the body descends, as the leg bends, and then the head comes back up again. So I'll start out with frame 1. I've added a keyframe, and I have all body parts in here. These are my body parts. I have the body, which is just a little, I've done a circle, and I use the selection tool to deform the circle. I also make sure that it's almost like a puppet. So I have a little bit of the body coming up into the head. Also, you can see I have parts of the arms puppet that come up into the other body parts, and I'll show you how that works. I have the left eye and the right eye. The right eye is just a little bit bigger than the left eye. I've drawn one eye, and then I use my transform tool to squish this horizontally so it's a little bit less wide for the eye that is behind the right eye. I have a foot, which is a flat foot, and then I have a bent foot, so when you're stepping up and bending the foot, I can put a bent foot in there. I have a hand back, which this is my back hand behind, and this one that's in front shows the back of the hand. That's hand front. Here's my head. Looks a little bit like, I don't know, some kind of animal with ears. And then I have a top leg, a leg top, and a leg lower. So my lower leg is an entire tube with the stroke around it. And you'll see that my top leg, I've drawn, it's the same leg, but I took the eraser tool and erased just this little bit of the edge of the stroke. So I've gotten rid of some of the stroke. Then I have a lower arm, let's see, and an upper arm. So upper arm and then lower arm that kind of overlaps. And I have a mouth, which doesn't really look like a mouth until you put it on the head. Then it looks more like a mouth. And what I do is, instead of pulling the shapes back on the stage every time that I have a new keyframe, which I have a new keyframe for each movement, when I change the body in each frame, I just select my entire body parts and paste it on the next keyframe. So here's my first one. And I'm going to just, let me unlock these. Select all my body parts and move it into place. This next frame, because I haven't added the keyframe yet in there, will be the same body parts in the same place. So I'm going to add a keyframe and keep all those body parts. Right click on that frame 2 and insert keyframe. Now what I do is I grab all the parts and move them out of the way. Oops, I'm sorry, I wanted to do that. I'm going to lock my sketches and move just the body parts so I have my sketches in place. And you'll see that now here, this leg is straight. The front right leg is straight. But in the next sketch, this front right leg bends. So I want to deselect everything and select just that leg, move it into place. And then I'm going to start with the moving each piece, each body part. So I use my free transform tool, select the body part, move the bend just a little bit and deselect. Select the lower part of the leg, bend that. Oops. Okay, there we go. Get that into place. See that little gap? I can just move that up a little bit, and you can do that sometimes with the arrow tool. Might be easier than trying to do it with a mouse. The foot, I'm going to bend so it's a flat foot, maybe a little bit of a turn. There, okay. This back leg is bent even more, so I'm going to select the back leg, move it into place, rotate, maybe a little less rotation. This is going to be even more rotation up as it's kind of kicking back. And then, now this I probably, let's see if I'm going to use that. No, I might use a bent foot. No, I think I'm going to use a flat foot. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Select this foot, do a Control or Command C to copy, and then Command or Control V to paste. And I have another copy of that symbol, which is the flat foot. Oops, I don't want to distort it. Just want to do a rotate. There we go. Just be careful you don't distort when you don't want to. Okay, and then my body. Now the body might be rotated a little forward and down. This leg is on top. Now let's see where that arm, the right arm is behind, so that's going to be coming forward. So in this one, this right here is the right arm, and it's going to go on top of the body. So let me select that part and rotate a little bit. Bring that over, and this is behind. So I select those 3 parts and rotate a little bit, and then stick it kind of behind there, and then bring the head in. There's the head. Okay, now I'm going to select all of those body parts so I can paste them in frame 3. Control or Command C to copy those body parts, deselect, go to the next frame, and whatever's there, delete it, because I've changed the shape. I want it a little bit closer to what I have here, so I can then replicate here. And I can see what I want to do. This arm is going to be coming forward a little bit more. This one is going to be going back more. So my left arm is going to be switching and going back here. My right arm is coming more forward. So I'm going to select the head and get the head in place. Just make sure you get the mouth along with it. And I might do a little bit of a rotate down there. And this is a little bit lower there. Pull my body into place. And my arm, which is going to be a little more rotated and pushed back even more behind the body. This arm is going to be coming more forward, and I'm going to have to do more of a bend here. So let's see. I got that about, okay, right there. And then this is going to rotate more forward. And then the hand will have to rotate more also. And then this leg will be next. And it is going to be bending even more. So this is more of a bend. And this lower part of the leg is going to be bent back a little bit, not quite so much. It looks like it's broken. There. And then the foot, a little flat, maybe not so much. There. Okay. Then this leg, grab the leg, pull it over, and it is going to be rotated. So it's going to be coming in more. This part has to rotate up even more. Be more forward. And then the back foot is rotated out more. Okay. Okay. And my keyframe. There, keyframe. Okay. So let's see what I've got here. 1, 2. This is a little bit different. So I have 1, 2, 3 keyframes I made. And this is now, let's get this into shape a little bit better here. I don't have it quite right. Okay, so let's grab this part of the body and pull it over. Oops. I need to move the head. Everything other than the head, I don't quite have that body part. Okay, so body moving in, and this part of the leg is back, but maybe the foot is a little bit less rotated. Probably this part of the leg is a little less. You have to go back and forth sometimes and modify. And then this part of the foot, and this arm is going to be rotated. There's the hand, the arm, a little more forward. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. This arm is just a little bit too, this arm is rotated a little bit too much. Oops. Okay, I'll come back and get that. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. From here to here. Okay, that's a little better. But now I need to, okay. And maybe move that up a tiny bit and then rotate the hand a little bit. All right, here to here to here. All right, that works. And then what I've done is I've already set up the rest of the body here for you. And I don't want to have the walk so fast that there's a change in every frame. So you can see what I've done in 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've added a frame. I'm going to do that to the rest of the frames here. And you can do that by simply selecting one of the keyframes, right-clicking, and insert a frame. So we're going to do that for the rest of these frames. Right-click with the mouse and insert a frame, so that same pose will be there for 2 frames. I'm going to turn off my sketch and deselect everything. Always be paranoid and save. If you don't, something will happen. And then you go through, and here we go. Here's our walk. So we go from this to, again, the right foot in front. And you notice as I get, see how I have a little bit of a rotation of the face. A little bit to the front, a little more to the front, then back again. And all I've done was I've closed the eyes, moved them over a little more to the front, and I've used the transform tool, this tool, to squish this eye just a little bit. And then in this frame, I've deleted that eye altogether. And then move them back and move them back. So that is the first of 3 ways of making a walk cycle. This is using symbols, graphic symbols for body parts. So each has a body part, and I'm putting the body parts into each frame each time. So remember to do a save, and the next will be part 2, working with bones and symbols.